Hey Ren, so here we are in Paradex. We're in the home section of Paradex. So I wanted to show you how you can access your sessions after you create them, whether you're in student mode or you're in teacher mode. So as you can see, we're on the home screen, and you see there are a couple different things that you can look at here. You can create a lesson right from here. You can learn, watch a webinar. You can look at some help videos. You can access your drive right here. So you can open it right through Pear Deck, or you can use the Google add-on that we've been using or that I showed you in the other video. You can look at different shared content down here. There's a good bit of information on here. They have a vocabulary. You can do a vocab list, and the students can kind of go through that on their own, or you can go through it together. Or a pop-up activity. So you didn't have to if you forgot to prep something real quick, you can look in here and you can choose a prompt and go from there. So that's basically your home screen, and you can explore those on your, when you have a moment. And if you look here, our next tab is sessions. So once you click on that, all of your sessions are here. You can search your sessions in this search bar right here, or you can look through your archived sessions if you have an archived session. But these are all your active sessions. And as you can see, I'm not very good at archiving them. Okay, so as you can see, we have a bunch of different sessions down here. I'm going to click on this student paced session. So you can either open the projector or you can open the dashboard. I'm going to open the dashboard so you can see the student responses. So this is your teacher end. Okay, so I have all my student responses here, and they're talking about, they're responding to the quote or to the prompt that they have on their screen. And this is what their screen will look like, okay, if you have not seen that yet. What I can do a couple things. I can star the answer, and I can say this is a really good answer, and I can go in and show my students from the presentation mode this particular answer anonymously, or you can share whose it is. It's up to you. I can unstar it. I can leave feedback. So when I click on that, I can write this student feedback, and I can send it to them, and it goes right to them. Okay, so I'm going to X out of here. You can also click on the three dots. You can hide their response. So, if maybe that student wrote something that maybe you didn't want somebody to see, or, if you plan on presenting this to your class, you can kind of manipulate whose you want them to see and whose you might not want them to see. And you can scroll down to see all your students. You can also, move this up here. You can also see who has not responded down here. So then you can go into GoGuardian and prompt them to respond. So that's always, a good feature to have. Here is what a multiple choice response will look like. Okay, you can see who picked which one. There's no responses on these, but you can see here who picked this one. And you can go through all of your slides of your students' responses. Okay, so that was just one view. Now here's another view. You can look at the layout this way, so it looks more like a social media feed as opposed to the tiles. I prefer the tiles for some reason. I think I can see more of them for some reason. The grid layout is nice for me. You can sort it by different responses. You can sort it by student name, and when it organizes by their first name. You can look to see which students are working online at the moment. You can block them from the session if you want for some reason. And we can close out of there. We also have the three dots down here, so we can click on this. Let me move myself again. And you can go to the projector version in a new tab, or even on a new device. So if you're used to working with two devices, or if you have the screen that you want to use, you can use the screen, and so on. You can ask your students to join in two ways. You can ask them to join pd.com, go to that website and type in this code, or you can give them a link. You can either give that to them in the chat, Or if you're doing student-paced, you can add that to your Google Classroom so that they can access it at any time. Okay, I'm going to go back to the teacher dashboard. So I'm just in the teacher dashboard again. It just shows you, a way to get to it, what it's for, and so on. Click got it. This session is in student pace mode, so this is where you get your link, or you can share it directly to Classroom, or you can do it the way that I've just done it. We can go to teacher dashboard. Okay. If I want to end this session, I can end it. And you have to decide if you have students who are still working or if you have students who aren't. I have a student who's still working, so I'm actually going to leave it and allow my students to keep working. And it takes you back to your home screen. You can always go back to sessions and access another session if you need to. If we click on the 3 dots here, we can turn on student pace for any session that we have here. We can end the session. We can rename the session, and I always feel like I have to purposefully name my sessions because I want to make sure that I know if I'm teaching my students for fall 2020 Macbeth, I want to make sure that I'll be able to access that. And we can archive the session, and that just puts it in the archived sessions tab. From the sessions section, we're going to click on this icon right here. We're going to click on my account, and then we're going to click on settings. Okay, settings is something that I was really excited about that I just happened to see the other day. If anybody is a fan of Immersive Reader, which I truly am, I think Immersive Reader is amazing. And the fact that they just implemented it into Paradex is fabulous. Although it is in beta mode. So we know that sometimes when things are in beta mode, they're working out the kinks. So you just have to remember that it's in beta mode and there are going to be some things that have to be worked out. But what is Immersive Reader? If you don't know Immersive Reader, you can learn more here. I'll just give you a quick overview. It will read this information to your students. It will translate it to about 50 different languages, which is absolutely amazing. You can change the color for people who have low vision or things like that. So Immersive Reader is really awesome, and I was really excited I just turned this on. This is also a really neat setting. Anytime you do this, for every Paradex, it'll allow them to reflect on their mood, pre-lesson and post-lesson. And you can kind of modify this as you like. You can scroll down. You can easily invite your Google Classroom classes to Paradex sessions. Super duper easy. You can turn that on. I love this too. The takeaways, you can publish it, and you can publish the review document for each student. And then requiring student logins. I also think that that's important because then you'll have the students' names already. It just makes life so much easier for everyone. You don't have to guess who's doing what. Okay, so we do have these premium features. So I really think that they're awesome, and I think that they're really great.